Hi everyone and welcome. This is my review of a brand new sports drama that I just learned existed yesterday when I saw the trailer. The movie is called Greater, and it is based on the life of a man named Brendan Burlsworth, who was from Arkansas. We get to know him in the 1980s and 1990s when he loved his life. He loved his much older brother. He loved his mom. He loved his dad. But his true passion in life was playing college football for the Arkansas Razorbacks. I didn't know much about this film, of course, until a few days ago. I didn't know much about Brandon, though in the trailer, there is a big spoiler in the trailer, but if you know about Brandon's life, especially if you're from Arkansas or have a passion for college football or football itself, you probably already know what happened to Brandon. But for me, I was just like, oh, is this going to really take away from my experience? Because I was kind of excited after watching the trailer, even though there was a major spoiler in the film. The movie begins at this man's funeral, or people are preparing. His family members are preparing for his funeral. They're reminiscing about his life, especially his brother, his much older brother, who's like 17 years older than him. And so throughout the movie, we get flashbacks of Brandon's life when he was a young kid, an awkward kid. Not a lot of people liked him. He loved to eat. He was quite large, but he loved football. And so throughout the film and throughout the 90s, he is considered possibly the best and greatest walk-on in college football history. So probably what really inspired this movie to be made was because of that great achievement. So in the movie, Brandon is played by an actor named Christopher Severo. I'd never seen him before. His brother in the film is played by Neil McDonough, a really great actor I remember from Boomtown and Minority Report. I know that he's working a lot in television today. The mother is played by Brandon's mother is played by Leslie Esterbrook, an actress from the Police Academy movies. Haven't seen her in a movie in a while, so it was really great to see her in a film. I believe she played Callahan in the Police Academy movies. And Michael Parks plays Brandon's kind of a strange alcoholic father who's very loving, but kind of on his own, and has a connection with Brandon, but at the same time loves the bottle just as much. And Michael Parks. I love Michael Parks. He's probably my favorite actor in the entire film, and I've known much about his work thanks to Quentin Tarantino and Kevin Smith in the last 20 years of cinema. So, again, as I said before, didn't really know much about the movie before, or actually much about the man before, and I felt throughout the film, even though that element was spoiled in the movie, I didn't mind it after watching the film because the way the movie begins, and it kind of goes back and forth. We get to see, this man's life, Brandon's life, as he is struggling with his own feelings, struggling with trying to fit in. He loves life. He loves people. He's honest. He's optimistic. He has a faith in God. And he's just an inspiration for the people that are around, not only for his family, but for his players and for the coaches. At the same time, the movie does focus on the older brother as he's battling his own demons in the sense that he loves his brother. He's sad that he's gone, but he's wondering why bad things happen to really good people. So in those elements of the story, he's kind of having this conversation with this unknown person. Don't know who he is. Is he someone who's going to help him out? Is he someone that's going to bring him down? So you got kind of these two stories happening around the same time. And it adds a lot of drama to the movie itself. So for someone who didn't know much about Brandon, I felt after I watched the film, I really learned a lot about this very inspiring person. And I'm a big sucker, even though I don't really follow sports much anymore as an adult. I'm a big sucker for sports dramas, sports film, whether it's a soccer movie or a football movie or a baseball movie. I just love inspirational stories, especially if they're based on true life. And as I was watching the movie, I couldn't help. It was hard, but I couldn't help to be reminded of one of my favorite football movies of all time, Rudy from 1993, starring Sean Astin. Love that movie. And this movie is, the movie that I'm talking about and I saw right now, Greater, is very reminiscent and reminded me a lot of Rudy itself. I think they would be a really wonderful double feature, very inspirational. I really liked the way that Christopher, who plays Brandon, really made you care about him, made you sympathize with him, and you really loved him. So when you find out what happened to Brandon near the end of his life, the waterworks, my friends, major waterworks. You know, there were moments in the film that I felt were very tender and very honest and very true, and I couldn't help but wipe away a few tears from time to time. Some really good acting by everyone involved, especially the main cast. I was very impressed with the film when it came to that. But the critic in me does have a few issues here, time to time, when it comes to the way the story kind of comes across sometimes, and a little bit with the editing, as it jumps a little too much, and it was kind of hard to focus a few times and really connect emotionally because of that. But the critic in me is there. It's there. I have to say, it is there. But because I was so moved by the story and the way the actors conveyed the story and the way the movie is written and directed and shot, I was like, you know, they did a good job. The movie didn't have to be a masterpiece. I'm fine with it's not perfect, okay? I actually was moved by it. I cared about Brandon. I thought about him and what his passions were, and I was inspired by that. I really was inspired by the life of Brandon Burlsworth. It's a really, really great story, a great true story, and this is a really, really good film. And it's something that I hope people will get a chance to see, whether it's in the theater or at home. But I'm glad that it did. You know, I'm glad that some theaters wanted to give it a chance to show it in the film. And yes, there are some Christian messages in the movie, themes, but they didn't feel like they were thrown in your face. They didn't feel like at the end of the movie, like, now you must accept Jesus into your heart. None of that. It just felt like this is what the character was into. This is what the man was into. This is what he was a part of. This is what his life was around. This is what had inspired him to do what the things he wanted to do and how he wanted to love one another. And that's how I felt about it. It didn't feel like a preachy message. It didn't feel like something that was heavy-handed. It felt honest, and it felt like it was a part of the film and not really trying to cram some sort of message down my throat, because Brandon was a very inspirational character as a character in the movie, and I think his true life story is something to think about, something to ponder, and hopefully be an example for whatever passion that the audience has. Whoever's watching it, whatever passion you have, hopefully you're inspired to fulfill your passion and do whatever you can no matter what. And that's how I felt about this film. I thought it was a good, solid film and something that I would recommend. For that, I am going to give Greater. I'm going to give it a solid 3 stars out of 4.
Thank you so much for watching. Please like, comment, and share this video. And also, please check out these amazing movie websites. And if you enjoyed this review, please click here to subscribe to my channel, and also please check out all my recent reviews right here on YouTube. Have a great day, live film, find peace, happiness, and harmony in anything and everything you do, and I'll talk to you at my next movie review.